Hey guys, Jazzy Thoughts here to talk about another book. So this book is the fourth book in the series. So I'm going to try not to, be too spoilery, but it did just come out this past week. It is this book, The Hob and Hound Pub by Seana Kelly. So I found out about this book as I signed up for one of those reader websites that you're supposed to read and get paid for the interview. And I didn't really entirely like their whole process, but they did have a couple of books that they recommended you look up on Amazon or that had gone over really well with readers, and one of them was called The Slaughtered Lamb. And so that's the original book in the series, and it caught my eye because it was about a bar owner who ran a bookstore in the pub. So it was half bookstore, half pub, which, I mean, every reader's dream, right? So I was like, okay, I'll give this. I mean, they have food too, so it's not just drinks. But, it has food too. It turns out it's more like a supernatural bar and pub. We find out Sam, she's the main character, is part werewolf, and there's goblins and all manners of creatures that come to the bar. The other person that works at the bar with her is a witch. They spell witch weird too. It's W-I-C-C-H-E instead of the normal witch, W-I-T-C-H. I don't know, it kind of makes it feel fancy. But and then the cook there is part demon. So we already have, a fun cast of supernatural creatures like we do. And let's see, this is book 4, so we've had the 3 different books. We find out a couple of different secrets about Sam. We learn about Clive, who's a master vampire that kind of steps in and protects her and helps sometimes. She's like, why is he doing that? And then, throughout the different books, you kind of find out why. I will spoil a little bit. They fall in love because in this book, they're on their honeymoon. So just a little teensy bit, but it's fun getting there. I had a little bit of a hard time getting into this book because I don't know if anybody watched Bones or any of those shows where, there's kind of the little bitty conflicts and the tension that's fun. And then they finally get together and you're just kind of like, oh, I kind of miss, the little dance that they had. But they do make a good match. And in this one, they actually go to Paris to kind of start the honeymoon before they start looking for the big bad that did lots of bad things in the other previous books. And they talk about her being in Paris, and she talks about how much she kind of loves the history. She still has her love of books, of course, and just a little bit on their relationship. Now, once the action gets started, it's a lot more fast-paced because first you're like, okay, yeah, we're going to Paris and we're seeing the museums and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's cool. I really like Sam and their inner thoughts and the sarcasm, but, we're looking for somebody, right? So they finally get out of Paris, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. All of the stuff happens. We have kidnappings. We have, there's a lot more in this book, not just with the vampires, but with the Fae. So the Fae, they do mind tricks. They disappear here and there. They don't play usually by the same rules as supernaturals. And we're, of course, finding out stuff the same way Sam does. And so there's a lot of magic and mayhem and some memory loss, which is always, fun. It's just like, hey, what happened? And we're disoriented right along with her. But then, they finally figure out how to kind of best them, meet up with some dragons. Hey now. Dragons are always fun. They're a little bit rude in here, so, we're going to have to talk to the dragons. But, they breathe fire and guard their treasure, so they just do what they do. And the big bad is stopped, in a manner of speaking, and another storyline that came out recently was resolved. I really like these books because for the most part they're pretty self-contained. There are plot threads that are left to explore, but not major cliffhangers. The plot of the book is resolved and then they find out more information. In this one, since she's, out of town and not running the bookstore, we find out some more of kind of what's going on back home for her to deal with. There's some of the lady with ties to the big bad in this one, and we still kind of have the threat, love, and intrigue of fairy looming in the background. And so there's still a couple of things that are going. So Clive, he's a master vampire, right? He has his two right-hand men, and they're fun with trying to make the balance of being respectful but also being sarcastic, because, you know, they've all been together for thousands of years, and talking to Sam, who's, you know, a little bit more fragile than they are, but not as much as one would think. We meet the cutest puppy ever. His name is Fergus, and he's a wolfhound, and he's so cute. And with him like growling at the vampires, like he's gonna do something with his little wiggly body, but he's so cute in the book. Not as cute as my kitty Boop, who did not want to join us today for the book review, but you know, not everybody can be as cute as my kitty Boop. But anyway, so it's really fun. The next book in the series, so the first one is called The Slaughtered Lamb, which is the name of her bar and bookstore. And then we have a couple other fun names. This one's the Hob and Hound Pub, which you find out why in the book. And the next one is Beer Garden of the Dam. So I don't know if they're going to be in Germany or home, or talking about somebody maybe bust their head on a beer keg. I don't know. But I'm very interested and intrigued to find out and keep reading them. This book is really well written, other than the couple of, you know, weird spelling of words like witch, which you get used to. And Seana Kelly is pretty active on Facebook and some of the social media. I actually just won a water bottle for the Slaughtered Lamb on Facebook, doing a contest of showing myself with the book, which I've already pre-ordered the next one because I really do enjoy these. So pick the first one up. If you are into the series like me, let me know your thoughts and comments, or if there's any books that you've been wondering about. Right now, I am reading Annette Marie's new one, the Twice Scorned Lady of Shadows. Lalakai, the Fae Lady from the Droid series. Her Guild series are great, and there's a couple of spin-offs. And then I'm also reading Legendborn, which I've heard really, really, really good things by Tracy Dion. And if I get a chance, I will come back and share my thoughts on that one, because it's really good so far. It's just pretty lengthy, and, you know, I'm balancing 2-3 other books at a time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye!